You can do this. It might be a waste of time, but if you'd like to play with it, go ahead. Get out a Big Chief tablet and a number 2 pencil. Make a list of those of the Texas legislature who it is they don't care about. Good luck with that. That's your homework assignment over the next 45 seconds. A list of those they don't care about. But your Texas legislature, led by your political heroes, led by the man, the myth, the Davy Crockett of our time, that's Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Trust me on this list. It's short. The ones they do care about. The list of those they don't care about, that don't matter at all to them. Particularly him, because he is the face of the franchise. He is the quarterback of all things legislative. The list is pretty long for those that they don't care about. It's really, really short for those they do care about. Those they don't care about, we could do this for a while. Young women, single women for sure. Young men, unless you're a Trump supporter. College-educated people, you suck, according to the Capitol. Minorities of every kind, blah, blah, blah. You just keep going with that. The Texas legislature only cares about people that vote in Republican primaries. That's approximately 3% of all voters. That's who they care about. And it works for them. They keep their jobs. They keep getting reelected. So being that narrow isn't a real problem if you're a professional politician. Got that? They only care about, only need to listen to people that vote in Republican primaries. That's older. That's white. That's rural. That's Christian. Period. End of story. I can tell you who they won't listen to, nor will they care about. They could care less what the best player ever at the University of Texas, the man that had the best overall career at the University of Texas, that's my opinion, and I'm happy to fight with you about it. The man who would have had a very successful NFL career, and it was actually, his NFL career was better than people realize. But this guy, he would have had an incredibly successful career had the NFL not been so backwards on his position on marijuana. Okay, this guy, the Texas legislature is not going to listen to Ricky Williams. I know you're thinking, wait a second, they're supposed to? They're not going to listen to him. No matter how right he is, no matter how sensible he is, no matter how passionate he is, no matter how famous he is, his voice, just like a lot of you, if you don't fit that list, that primary Republican primary list, if you fit the Republican primary demographic, they'll listen to you. They're not going to listen to him. And if you don't fit Republican primary demographics, they're not going to listen to you, just like they're not going to listen to Ricky Williams. It doesn't matter. He doesn't matter, and you don't matter unless you're in a primary. It's that clear. There's no gray area. That's just the way it is. I like him. I do. I like him not because he was an amazing player, right? It has nothing, I can't say it has nothing to do with the fact that he was, in my opinion, the best player ever at Texas, which is saying a lot for me because I grew up in a time when I can't imagine I'd ever think anyone was a better football player than Earl Campbell at any level. But Ricky Williams turned out to be, in my opinion, the best football player ever at Texas with the best overall career ever at Texas. Okay, but put that aside. He was a guy that could block, would block. He's a guy that could catch far better than people realize. He's a guy that could run. He could throw. I just think he was better than anyone to ever play the position and might arguably be the best all-around player of all time. I mean, if you put on a short list of the greatest running backs the college game had ever seen, it would include people like Marcus Allen, Earl Campbell, Bo Jackson, Herschel Walker, Barry Sanders, Ricky Williams, and stop. You can stop there and you'll be fine. But I think there's always been a lot more to the guy than that. And I think it's showing now. I like him because he's interesting. He's thoughtful. His perspective is fascinating. And in many ways, he was way ahead of his time. I mean, arguably, you could say the same thing right now. He was way ahead of his time as a college player, way ahead of his time, certainly as a pro player, and it cost him. And, you know, his position now on marijuana, what he's trying to do with the Texas legislature, trying to get them to listen, he's way ahead of his time again. If you're wondering, Jeff, what's he trying to do and why won't they listen? He's making an effort, and I don't think they'll listen because they don't care. Remember, the only people that matter, the only voice that matters are those that vote in Republican primaries. And I'm pretty sure that's not him.
Well, taking a live look at the Texas Capitol, the deadline for Governor Greg Abbott to veto bills is quickly approaching. It is this Sunday, June 22nd. Now, if he doesn't veto a bill by then, it will become law. One of the bills some Texans are calling on the governor to veto is Senate Bill 3. It would ban all consumable hemp products that contain THC, which is the cannabis compound that gets somewhat high. Longhorn football legend turned cannabis advocate Ricky Williams is now joining the calls for a veto.
I'm calling on my friend, Greg Abbott, to please veto this bill and stand with the veterans, the farmers, and the families who know that there's a better way forward. Thank you.
Now, Williams founded Project Champion, a national coalition of former athletes who advocate for using cannabis for pain management. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick led the push for the THC ban, saying the products are dangerous and unregulated and marketed toward children. But a recent survey found 61% of Texans don't think the governor should sign the bill. When asked about a potential veto this week, Governor Abbott said he has thousands of bills to review and has not gotten around to SB 3 yet.
Okay, it's that was nice. It was nice. And Ricky Williams' attempt. He went on to say something very sensible, and he was doing this as a player. He was talking about pain management in his days of playing. He ended up getting suspended multiple times. The NFL has completely changed its position on THC. Because a lot of players, and I think, again, I'm not even sure it's arguable that he was ahead of his time talking about this. Would you rather me take painkillers kind of story? And the NFL would listen to him. And the NFL did listen to him and other players about THC and pain management. The legislature is not. He's not old, white, and rural. So he's not showing up at some obscure elementary school voting in a Republican primary. So it will not matter. He went on to say, this plant helped me stay balanced and healthy through the grind of professional football. Now it's helping veterans manage PTSD and families manage pain. These changes in the law don't protect Texans. It punishes them. The people of Texas deserve freedom of choice and don't need the government to tell them what they can and can't put in their body. I don't know about the thing, my friend Greg Abbott. I don't know where that's coming from or if it could possibly be true, but they're not going to care. I mean, he is, I guess, the most famous face that's applied to this. And it's not new for him. You can't say this guy is just getting involved. He was doing this a long, long time ago at the jeopardy of his own career. So will it matter? No, it will not. No, it doesn't matter if 61, 65, or 80%. All that matters is the voice and the face of the people that vote in Republican primaries. I mean, the truth is, even though he's right, Ricky Williams is right. I mean, he's being practical. He's being sensible. He's held this position a long time. The only thing that would help him is if he had some, some rural elderly white person sitting in the video with him that promises Greg Abbott they voted Republican primary, then they might listen to him. Otherwise, not so much. He was suspended. I mean, it's an amazing career, really. I mean, the college career, like I said, I think it's the best ever at Texas, all around. If you total out a career, it's the best career overall. But he was suspended often as a player, and he was talking about how THC helped him. The league didn't care at the time, but what people don't know as a player, He had more than 10,000 yards rushing. He made a Pro Bowl, but he was suspended 5 times. And at that time, you're suspended in the NFL. You're talking about any given time. You're talking about 2, 3, and 4 game suspensions, and that happened 5 times over his career. He was technically violating the league's drug policy. Now, to show you how ahead of his time he really was, the NFL now allows, and I have no idea how much or how little this is, the NFL now allows per policy 350 nanograms per milliliter. I don't know, but that's their policy. And the league has done away with suspensions for offenses. So all the stuff that he went through 5 times in his career, again, a better career than people realize, is out the door now. They don't do that. If a player exceeds the limit on the first, I believe, 3 tests, they're fined and not suspended. Every offense he had, first-time offense, he was suspended. On a 3rd offense, or 4th offense, I think it is, you're suspended 1 game. He was suspended 5 times, and I think it was something like a total of 20-something games. He's interesting. You know, I mean, he's interesting because the football part of it that I don't think, and I'm trying to realize what it is that gets in the way of people fully appreciating the overall career of his. Is it his position on THC through the years, that his pro career wasn't great? I don't know. I think post-career for Ricky Williams, in the minds of a lot of people, gets in the way of appreciating his college career. And I think even to an extent, we all forget he was a really good pro. But he's maintained this position a long time. And he's put a voice to it. He's put a thoughtful voice to it every time. He was, as a player, he was thoughtful about this. And I think you can respect how he went about pitching this again. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. I don't think so. I don't think so. They're not going to listen to him. It will not matter. The polls don't matter. It's a thing that people get, whatever you feel about THC, it's not my thing. I don't really care. I just think it's ridiculous that a draconian government like we have here is just backwards. It's just not worth the taxpayers' time, energy, and money not to allow this to be legalized. French fries are a bigger problem in this state. But I think it's an interesting test for him to put his famous face, name, and a thoughtful voice to this effort just to prove to you it will not matter. And every time you're confused and you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm an average person. I don't care about this stuff. You're not realizing the only thing that matters to them. They can look right above the head of Ricky Williams, right above the head of most of you, unless you're a Republican primary voter. They will not and don't have to care about anybody else. That's where this thing is going to stop.